Hey, Tony Dokoupil here, and guess what? I do not have the flu. The question is, how long is that going to last, though? Because flu season is here, and the CDC is recommending that people start getting their annual flu shot. I hate shots. Dr. Narula is with me in the Toyota Green Room to discuss how you can start preparing for flu season and some of the misconceptions out there about the vaccine. One thing that's not a misconception is it involves a needle.
It does.
We can get to that.
Or a nasal mist, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are recommending this year that people who are 2 to 49 years old can get the nasal mist if they want,
I like
as opposed to the needle.
So I want to talk about the vaccines, but pre-vaccine or prior to the vaccine, what are the other things you can do to avoid getting the flu?
Well, so typical precautions: hand washing, staying home if you're sick so you don't infect your colleagues, sneezing or coughing into a tissue, all of the typical things that we talk about to prevent spread of disease.
Is it better if you have to sneeze to use your hands or like the crook of your elbow? I see. I see this one a lot.
If you're going to wash your hands right away, it's probably fine. But so yes, usually people do this, but the best is a tissue.
Okay,
and then, wash your hands after. So washing hands all day around flu season, very helpful.
And would you consider the flu vaccine an optional thing, or just everyone should get it?
Well, the recommendation by the CDC and others is that everyone 6 months and older should get the flu vaccine. The only exception to that is really people who've had some sort of severe life-threatening allergy to the flu vaccine or a component of the flu vaccine, or for those who are younger than 6 months.
Does it cost much?
So in some cases it's free. Certainly if you have insurance, certain places will offer it for free, or it can cost up to about $40 or $50.
But worth the investment, you would say?
Absolutely worth the investment. I think a lot of people think flu is just like the cold, no big deal, I get sick, I get better, but it is associated with complications, things like ear infections, sinus infections, pneumonia, and obviously death. Last year in the adult population, anywhere between 30 and 60,000 deaths, 135 pediatric deaths, hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations. And for people who have chronic diseases like heart disease or lung disease or diabetes, this can really exacerbate those problems. So if you have heart disease, for example, 6 times more likely to have a heart attack or, after you've had the flu. So really important for those populations, especially also to get the flu vaccine.
The flu comes in this seasonal wave, and I know there are different ideas about why it comes in that wave, but, I'm thinking Australia's on the other side of the world.
Right.
It's already been winter and flu season there. Can we learn anything from that flu season about what flu season might be coming here?
So the experts always say we can't really take what happened there and absolutely apply it to what the prediction will be for this year. We don't really know, but it does give us a sense, and we know that this past year in Australia, they did see more cases of the flu than they ever have in the past 5 years. So lots and lots of hospitalizations there. It did seem like the vaccine that they've created this year was a better match for the flu in Australia. So maybe there's hope that it will be a good match for our flu season as well.
These days, vaccines, unjustifiably, but vaccines do make people nervous.
Yes.
Is there anything about the flu vaccine that is a risk we should know about? And also, some people say, I got the shot and now I feel kind of wiped out for the day. Do you get kind of like a mini illness from it?
Some people can. So there's really only 1% of people who are going to have some sort of severe reaction to the flu shot. For everybody else, it's typically soreness at the site where they give you the shot, maybe some mild systemic symptoms, like I feel a little feverish or muscle aches, and those usually pass within a couple days. So there's really no reason to avoid it. I know there's a lot of myths around the flu vaccine, but you can't get the flu from the flu vaccine. Some people say, I got the flu vaccine and I got the flu anyway. It takes about 2 weeks for you to build up antibodies. So if you got the flu vaccine and then you got exposed in those 2 weeks, guess what? You might get the flu.
And if you're completely allergic, not only to the flu, but to needles, you say there's a mist involved?
There is a mist. So the nasal mist, we've had it before. Last year, it actually was not recommended, but they've made some adjustments, and this year it is recommended for those 2 to 49 years old.
All right, that's good. Anything else people should know?
Important thing is that really, even if you get the flu and it's not the perfect match for the strain that's in the vaccine can prevent the flu that you get from being as serious, right? So you're less likely to develop complications. The symptoms you get may be less severe. So it's really important to get it regardless of whether it ends up being a perfect match, because a lot of people worry about that.
All right, I began this segment flu-free, and if I follow these tips, I shall remain so.
End of October. You got to get it before the end of October, ideally.
All right. Check out social media for the video of me getting my flu shot. It's coming up. Tara, thank you very much. Thanks. I appreciate it. For more tips on preventing the flu, go to cbsthismorning.com. That's on the computer.